Hello friends, I am back with the last weekly update of the year. Today is the 29th of December 2025, so we're almost done with 2025 for better or worse. If you are new here, my name is Sen. I am an artist and designer. This is my little place on the internet for everything cross-stitch, on YouTube more like. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for coming back. I love to see you here. And yeah, you know that I try to do weekly updates, to check in and see what I've been stitching on over the past few days. So this one is gonna be the last of the year, as I just said. I will be filming Whip Parade, the movie, later this week, probably starting Wednesday evening and all the way into Thursday. And yeah, then if you so wish, you can see all of the whips that I currently have on my active pile. But until then, today I do have a small to medium size update. I've been doing quite a bit of stitching, mainly model stitch, but I've also worked on some other things. I have one finish, although it is a tiny one, you will see, and one new start. That was supposed to be my new year new start, but me being me, obviously I freed up a spot and I couldn't wait to go back up to 100 whips and start it already. So you will see that as well in a moment. And then that, if I sound a little bit weird, I have a cold, so apologies. I still wanted to hop on and film, and my hair is a little wild today, so I'm looking a bit frazzled. Hopefully you're not too bothered by that. But without much further ado and too much waffling, let's move over to my desk and I'm gonna show you what I've been working on over the past week. Alright, let us start with my small little finish. It is this one. This is number 2 of a set of coasters that I'm doing. So this one fits perfectly into like one of those acrylic coasters. I already had one finished earlier this year. I don't know if I ever showed it to you, but there's 2 more. One that's currently in my whips and one that is in the lineup. And once I have all of these done, all 4 of them, I will make them available. And you will have a nice set of coasters. Maybe I will put them on their own in my Etsy shop and then do like a set of them later, but I have not decided yet. So now that I have 2 of them, I might. Well, this is my finish. This is the autumn colored little coaster. And they all have different not motifs, like, what is the word? Not all of them look the same. They have different patterns. That's what I was looking for. So the one that I have already finished for summer, it's a pink and yellow one. It has like squares like this. I made. So I will do a finish parade sometime early next year, probably, because I've done a lot of small finish over the year. Then you will see them together and then you'll know what I mean. But this is my finish. Moving on, and since I finished something, here's my new start. Again, this was supposed to be a new year, new start, but me being me, I couldn't wait because I really wanted to try this fabric. I have stitched like on this tiny count before, and as you can see, it is super tiny. These are 10 by 10 blocks, and this is let me check, a 32 count easy grid Murano from Zweigart that I really wanted to try. And since this is an easy grid, I'm giving cross country by color another try. So I am going to try to stitch like the color that's most in here, which is 939, I believe, like the really dark blue. I think it's 30,000 stitches of 939. So I'm gonna try and do all of them first and then go with the next color. And this is really dark, so I think the next one is 310. So this is the width and this is the entire length of it. So imagine how big this would be if I were to stitch this in a larger count. And this is what it will look like when it is done. This is an image I charted myself from this is an AI image I grabbed off Pinterest. So, and I'm not going into the whole AI shenanigans explanation, blah de blah. If you're interested, put it in the comments. If you don't know, I'm always willing to answer questions. It's to the best of my ability. But the gist, like, I don't know if you know or remember, since AI is not human-made, you cannot copyright it. So if you find a nice picture somewhere and want to use it for something, just go ahead and grab it. And that's what I did with this one. So same as with like some of my other patterns, like the coffee dragon. So this one, I didn't give it a name yet. I'm probably just gonna call it Storm. Could also call it Lotus Dragon, who knows. But wait, if you know me, you know I need more dragons in my life all the time. So if I find one that I like, I'm gonna grab it or buy it if it's a legitimate artist's pattern, of course. Oh, let's go on to the next. Speaking of dragons and legitimate artists, next one I worked on is this, and you've seen it quite a few times over the past weeks because this is such a great winter stitch and I love it. It's beautiful and it's also not overly large. So let's see what I've done on it. I did work a few more colors in. Not exactly sure where and how and why, but you will see it in the before and after. This is where it is sitting at currently, and even though you cannot really see it, I've filled in a lot of ninja stitches here, meaning there is a second page finish. So this page had a lot of ninja stitches. Let me get it a bit closer to the camera so you can appreciate the confetti, because this is a lot of confetti, but it is beautiful. So page 2 is done. And artisty pages are not that large, so they are not too hard to finish. So now I'm thinking if I'm going to go next page in the row, or if I'm doing this page down here next, because I have so many hanging threads here. And these hanging threads here are all over the place. So we'll see. But I'm probably gonna work on this a bit more until winter is over. So you might see a bit more of this. All right, I just realized that I technically have 2 new starts because I got this magic needle kit as a Christmas present from my friend, and I already said in my last video, I believe, that I was going to start it on Christmas, which I did. And I did start it off with, let me see, 559 stitches actually, so not too bad. This is where it is currently at. Started in the middle, as you tend to do with kids, at least I do, because I don't want to risk running out of fabric or thread. So, and this one is also a first for me, I believe, because I know Dimensions kits do it too, but the other magic needle kit that I have doesn't. So this one, I mean, they all have full cross and half cross, but this one has a variation of stitching the, wow, my words are leaving me, of 1 strand, 2 strand, and 3 strand. So I don't know if you can see, like here, the half stitches. This one is with 2, these are different colors. So this one is with 2 strands and this one is with 1 strand. These are regular, like 2-stranded full crosses, and up here the white is stitched with 3 strands full cross, and this is a 16 count. So I'm just working with everything that came in the kit, and obviously they have blends, which is what how they get like these beautiful end results. But and same as with the other magic needle kit that I have, I started, I just couldn't put it down that day. They are so enjoyable to work on. I hope I'm gonna like grow my collection of magic needle kits in the future, because man, they are beautiful and they are so pleasant to work on. But this is my second new start. So next I worked on is the model of my gingerbread road. You can get this one and my Etsy. I will put the link down below. It's like a little wintry Christmassy pattern that I made. So this is where I'm at. I did a bit more on the roof of this little house. I only stitched white, so I did the stars, like not stars, the snowflakes here, like a lot of the roof of the house, these snowflakes, and then moving all the way over here. Like this one got, where do I have it? Not too many stitches. In the evening I worked on it. Like with these projects I'm a lot slower than with my half stitch full coverages, where I can get 1,000 stitches in an evening or a day, not really in an evening. When I don't do anything else and I stitch for 6 hours, I get 1,000 stitches on my full coverages, but not on these ones. These are a lot slower. 261. So this still needs a lot of work, because this is larger than it looks like. I think this has a little over 10,000 stitches, which is not small, but that is where this one is at. And last but not least, and no printout of what it's gonna look like. Oh, this is the back. This is January's upcoming Patreon pattern, which I have not finished yet. I was originally planning on finishing it by the end of the year, and then as usual, if I try to stitch monogamously, I burn myself out. So I had to put this down for a bit, even though I enjoy stitching on it a lot. And I will probably finish this winter. I don't want it to languish until late next year or something. But I will take this a little bit slow, so it's not going to be finished by the 1st of January, but it might be finished later in January. Anyway, so I do not exactly know how far this was last week, so I will put the before and after. And now you do have the snowflakes. Here's the holly berries. They are finished. The next row, I believe this wasn't there yet. This is, I don't know what the English word for these is off the top of my head. It's like these little tiny flowers that grow very early in spring when there's still snow out. And then you have your snowy little cottage, your little house. So there's a bit more white and a bit more fill-in in the house than there was last time, I believe. And then I started going down. So this part here, if you know the autumn sampler, you know that this will be a small repeat of the holly berries. They will be down here, and then here in the bottom we will have another motif. And you can probably already guess that this is going to be a snowman. So let's see where this goes. That is how far I am with this. Let me move the camera out a little so I can get this fully into picture. Please excuse my messy desk. That is artists at work. Is it fully in frame now? Yes, it is. So this is where this one is at. I know it's not finished yet, Glory, but this is all I worked on for this past week. So we'll see what I get on this week, because I do have quite a bit of free time, but I also need to do some work, and I have an appointment later this week. But let's move on our back around for the chatty bits. Well, here I am again. So that was my whips for the past week. I hope you enjoyed. So there is not too much to say for life updates. as I just touched on, I do have a bit of free time over the week. I mean, it is the New Year's Eve later in the week, so I will be spending probably quite a bit of time filming my whip parade, which is going to be long with 100 whips. And otherwise I don't have that much to do. I do have another market coming up mid-January, so there will be some preparation that need to be done already this week, we will see. And for now, once I'm done with filming and editing this little video, I will move ahead, and one of my Dungeons and Dragons groups is picking back up tomorrow. We had a little Christmas break, like we didn't play last week, but other than that, I have an appointment later in the week, I believe on Friday, and yeah, other than that, it's gonna be work, stitching, which is partially also work and partially just for my own relaxation, obviously. And yeah, other than that, we had Christmas at my parents' house, and like every time we move over to my parents' house and meet with my brother and my sister-in-law and their kids, we bring back a cold, because I mean, if you have little children, you probably know they pick up, even if they're not sick, we know what germs they pick up in kindergarten and preschool and whatever they go to. And yeah, if you, like me, work from home and don't like, I'm not around people much, especially not children, unless I go to conventions, and then I'm not really that close to them because I'm behind my booth and people are in front of my booth. So, but I often pick up something when we go to conventions, especially in winter. And well, when I meet with my nephews, then it's most of the time it's something. So no, this time, well, it's not too bad, I will survive. It's just annoying, but I love them and I wouldn't miss it for the world. So that is me for this week. Well, at least for this week's update, because if you so please, we will see each other again later this week for my Whip Parade, the movie. So I hope I will see you there. And until then, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and you will have a great start into the new year. So, without further ado, I will sign off and go and edit this video so you can watch it. And I will see you again later. Bye bye and happy stitching!